What do I love about Far Cry 4, Halo Infinite, and Sniper Elite 4? And more importantly, what do they have in common? Other than that, they're all shooters. What keeps me invested in playing and replaying these games? What is so special about these games? What do they have in common? First, let's clarify what they don't have in common. Unlike Sniper Elite 4 and Halo Infinite, Far Cry 4 is a bad game. Another cash grab on the Ubisoft open world game, with all the towers, collectibles, and microtransactions that come with. Far Cry 4 is also seen as the game that ruined the Far Cry series, and started the decline in quality in the open world games. One of its only redeeming features also differentiates itself from the other two games. It has a really strong antagonist named Pagan Min. Far Cry as a series is known to have strong antagonists. What makes Pagan Min so special is his, well,
I distinctly remember saying, "Stop the bus." Yes, stop the bus. Not shoot the bus. I'm very particular with my words. One fucking job, but you couldn't fucking do that!
well-demeanored, enthusiastic tyranny. This strong antagonist stands in stark contrast of Sniper Elite 4, whose villain is, Hines. I had to Google that, because honestly, I didn't know it. Halo Infinite's big bads are no different. Eshram is at best the teacher's pet of a much better dead villain, and the bug lady is just boring. This is actually heartbreaking for me, a long-term fan of Halo. There have been many great villains in the Halo series, and I was hoping to see one more added to the roster. Halo Infinite also breaks the mold of most open-world shooters, and the other two games on this list, by not having any sneaking mechanics. It makes more sense to have a tiny, fragile human sneak around opposed to a giant 2-ton Spartan. In Sniper Elite 4, you might be fragile, but you're definitely not weak. One of the biggest differences between Sniper Elite 4 and the other games is that it's not open world. It's actually a semi-open linear level, kinda like Halo CE. This allows for more designed encounters and scenarios. It'd be interesting to see an open world Sniper Elite game though. It's also interesting to see that Sniper Elite is not first person when you're not sniping. It being third person in all other cases is a huge hindrance to aiming with all other guns. I mean, it is called Sniper Elite 4, not Pistol Run and Gun 4. Now that we know what they don't have in common, what do they have in common? Well, they're video games, they're shooters, they're about war. You are set to fight a group of enemies guarding something. Let's call these areas camps. These camps don't usually know that you're coming. You're given distance to view these camps. You are able to pick gear before getting involved with these camps. These games allow you to plan ahead, both by what gear you bring to an encounter, and by how you act to take the camp. There's also unforeseen variables, ones that make you react on the fly. The right balance of planning, executing, and reacting to new variables is what I love about these games. That's what scratches this itch. Okay. Now that I'm at the end, don't play Far Cry 4. It's bad. Really bad. When I thought of making this video, I was thinking of a summer in which I really enjoyed playing it. Now it scratched the same itch these games do. But when I went back to play it, it was awful. For an open world game, it's far too linear. It'll tell you that you're leaving the mission zone and then kill you. You can't plan or execute any plans because half the time, your bullets and arrows will collide with the invisible ground. Shooting with the bow only sometimes lands in the general vicinity of where you're aiming. If it misses, then the guard gets alerted and they'll raise their alarm and call reinforcements. Which at that point is just another regular shooter. A bad regular shooter. And it's not worth playing. Trying to get to a fort for this video, I was shoved into several missions without my say in it. Don't play Far Cry 4. I certainly won't be playing it anymore. There are other better games you and I can play.